No one knew when the noise started. It was just there, buzzing, crackling, repeating the same broken sound over and over. A sharp screech, followed by a pause, then again. Then again. At first, the scientists thought it was a glitch. Maybe a satellite had drifted off course. Maybe an old probe was sending damaged signals. Earth had many machines floating in space. One of them must have gone bad. But the sound didn't stop. It was picked up by telescopes in Australia. Then in Chile, then Japan. Every station got the same signal. The same rhythm, same tone, over and over. Like a broken machine yelling into the dark. Most people didn't care. News called it space static. But the scientists knew better. The signal had a pattern. It wasn't random. Something had made it. Something not from Earth. That's when Dr. Maya Lin got involved. Maya Lin wasn't famous. She worked in a quiet lab in northern Alaska, far from big cities. She didn't like crowds, didn't like noise, and hated distractions. But when she heard the signal, she couldn't ignore it. Her computer speakers played it on loop. Jura, krufluk, zhrrrkk, click, every minute. Like clockwork. She closed her laptop and rubbed her eyes. This is going to drive me insane. She emailed other engineers. Nobody had a solution. No one could find the source. The signal came from deep space, but not from a star, not from a planet. It floated somewhere near a dead zone, far beyond Mars, near a forgotten system named ZERU-1-9. ZERU-1-9 had no life. No atmosphere, no water, just dust and rocks. No one had visited it for over 200 years. Still, the signal came from there. Maya stared at the data on her screen. The noise was getting stronger, not weaker. Like something was waking up. At night, the signal haunted her. Even in her dreams, the broken sound echoed. Shuruk, click. Her brain filled in words that weren't there. Help, please. Help. She shook it off. It's just garbage data, she told herself. Some old machine. But her curiosity grew. If aliens had built it, why was it still running? Why hadn't they fixed it or shut it off? More importantly, why hadn't anyone else done something about it? 1 week later, Maya sat in a conference room with the head of the Global Communications Agency, GCA. A big screen showed a map of the galaxy, a red dot blinking near ZERU-1-9. You want to go there? The director asked. To a dead planet, just because the signal annoys you? Maya nodded. Yes. You know how that sounds? She nodded again. Yes, the director sighed. Most people ignore background noise. I'm not most people, Maya said. And this isn't background noise. It's a machine asking for help, over and over. But the message is broken. Like it's dying, screaming. Doesn't that bother you? The director leaned back. It bothers me that you care this much. Maya smiled slightly. Good, then give me a team and a ship. A week later, Maya and 3 others boarded a scout ship called Echo Runner. It was small, fast, and old, but it had strong comms equipment. Her team included Jonas Reyes, a pilot who loved to talk during takeoff, Dr. Eliza Venn, a roboticist who barely talked at all, Samir Khalib, an engineer who fixed things with duct tape and luck. They weren't heroes, just problem solvers. And they all hated the signal. As they left Earth's orbit, Maya looked out the window. Let's go shut this thing up, she said. The trip took 4 days. On the second day, the signal got louder. They were getting close. On the third day, their computers started glitching. Eliza said the signal had strange code embedded in it, like it was trying to talk, but forgetting how. It's like someone smashed the language with a hammer. She said, it's broken, but it's trying to speak. Trying to speak for how long? Jonas asked. Records show it started 75 years ago, Maya said. But it could be older. That's creepy, Samir muttered. like a ghost radio. They arrived at 019 on day 4. The planet looked dead. Gray dust, cracked rocks, no light, no color. The beacon was easy to find: one tall metal tower standing alone in the middle of a desert. It looked alien, tall and thin, with strange symbols on the base. Most of the structure was buried under the ground. Maya stepped out in a pressure suit. No air here, no sound. Just silence and the soft ping of the signal on her helmet radio. ZHHRRRKK. Click ... She walked to the beacon. It was still humming. Still sending. Still broken. Eliza ran tests. This tech is old, like really old. It doesn't match anything we know, but it's running on auto repair mode. That's why it hasn't died yet. Samir opened a panel. Looks like a power source the size of a grapefruit. But it's glowing like a sun. Maya looked up. Why leave this here? Why not fix it or turn it off? No one had an answer. The team worked for hours. Maya rewired the comms unit. Eliza translated some of the symbols. Samir connected human parts to the alien system. They didn't want to break it, just quiet it. Get rid of the buzzing dot. It took 6 hours. But at 2:47 a.m. Earth time, Jonas flipped the final switch. The signal stopped. The silence hit them like a wave. For the first time in weeks, there was no ZHHRRRKK. No click, no noise. Everyone stood still. Did it work? Samir whispered. Maya checked the screen. Yes, it's off. Jonas raised a hand. I say we leave before it starts again. They laughed quietly, nervously, but then the screen blinked. A second signal started, not broken, not damaged. Clear, calm, in a different language. Eliza's translator ran fast. The words appeared on the screen. Help received. Preparing to arrive. Maya froze. Did we just fix it? Eliza nodded slowly. Yes, we didn't shut it off. We repaired it. We completed the message. Samir stepped back. Who's arriving? No one answered. Outside the ship, the dust began to stir. The tower's lights turned from red to blue. And far above the planet, the ship's radar picked up movement in space. Something was coming. Something had been waiting for the message to go through. Something had heard them, and it was on its way. The ship above 019 wasn't like anything humans had ever seen. It didn't glow. It didn't make noise. It just appeared huge, dark, and silent, blocking out the stars like a shadow. From the cockpit of the Echo Runner, Maya Lin stared at the shape on the radar screen. It's not one of ours, Jonas said. That's for sure. Eliza's voice was quiet. It was waiting for someone to fix the signal. And we did, Maya said. Nobody moved. Outside, the alien beacon they had repaired was glowing blue now. The light pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. And the ground around it was rumbling. Inside the ship, Samir tapped buttons on the comms panel. No new messages. Nothing on radio. It's just there, watching. Maybe it's scanning us, Eliza suggested. Maya leaned forward. Or maybe it thinks we're the ones who sent the message. Jonas looked nervous. What if they think we're the ones in trouble? Maya didn't answer. What if the ship was coming to rescue us? Or worse, what if it was coming to finish something it started a long time ago? 30 minutes passed. Then, without warning, a small pod detached from the alien ship. It floated silently through space, entered the planet's thin atmosphere, and landed near the beacon with a soft thud. A hatch opened. 3 tall figures stepped out. They were not human, insect-like bodies. Long arms, 4 eyes each, glowing faintly. Their skin shimmered like metal. They walked with careful, smooth movements like they'd done this many times before. The crew stayed inside the Echo Runner, watching from the windows. Do we say hello? Samir asked. They're not attacking, Maya said. Let's try talking first. Maya walked out alone. She wore a translator earpiece and no weapons. The aliens turned to her but didn't react aggressively. The closest one stepped forward. It bowed not deeply, just a small dip of its head. The translator crackled. "Signal restored," the voice said. "You are the fixers?" Maya blinked. "Fixers?" The alien nodded. "The ones who heard. The ones who solved." Behind her, Samir whispered into her earpiece. "They think we're someone important." Maya kept her voice calm. "Yes, we fixed it." The aliens bowed again, deeper this time. "Then we owe you everything," the lead alien said. Inside the ship, the crew stared in disbelief. "They called us fixers," Jonas said. "Like it's a title, or a role," Eliza added. "A legend, maybe." Maya rubbed her forehead. "They don't know we only fixed it because the signal annoyed us." Samir laughed quietly. "Let's not tell them." The alien ship sent new data maps, coordinates, symbols. The translator worked hard to keep up. "They've been at war," Eliza said. "For hundreds of years." "With who?" Maya asked. No one had an answer. That night, the aliens called the Zarn shared their story. A long time ago, the Zarn ruled a part of the galaxy. But something terrible came. A force they called the Varnax, a dark race. Machines, maybe. Or creatures of pure energy. The Zarn couldn't stop them. The beacon was their last hope. Not a call for help, but a test. A trap. Whoever fixed it would have to be strong, smart, brave, or foolish. Either way, they would be noticed. "They waited for someone to solve it," Eliza whispered. "And we did." "By accident," Maya added. "Still counts," Samir said. The next day, the Zarn asked the crew for help. They wanted to show Maya and her team something. An ancient station hidden beneath 0 and 9 surface. The crew followed them underground, using tunnels that hadn't been opened in centuries. At the bottom was a room filled with lights, consoles, and one massive screen. It showed stars, moving lines, and blinking red dots. Eliza studied it. "It's a map of the galaxy." Samir looked closer. "What are the red dots?" A Zarn answered. "Worlds." Gone silent, the Zarn believed the Varnax were returning. The red dots were places that had already fallen. No life, no signals, just silence. The Zarn had no more fleets, no more armies. Just this old system and a few ships. "But we fixed the beacon," Maya said. "Why does that matter?" The Zarn leader looked straight at her. "Because now others will follow." Maya's stomach turned. "Others?" The alien nodded. "The Varnax listen for the fixers. They always come after the signal is repaired." Back on the Echo Runner, the crew argued. "This was a trap," Jonas said. "We weren't supposed to fix that thing." "But we did," Maya said calmly. "And now we've been noticed." Samir leaned forward. "Can we shut it off again?" Eliza shook her head. "It's not a simple beacon anymore. It's sending a clean message across the galaxy," Jonas swore. "So we lit a signal fire. And now monsters are coming." Maya stood. Her voice was quiet. "Then we stopped them." Later that night, Maya stood outside alone. The stars above her were quiet, but in her earpiece, the signal had changed again, a soft tone, a repeating phrase. "Fixers located. Observation begins." She stared at the beacon. Somewhere far away, something had heard them, and it was listening now. 3 days passed since the crew repaired the beacon on ZERU-9. The noise was gone. But the silence felt worse. In orbit above the dead planet, the massive alien ship from the Zarn waited like a shadow. It didn't leave. It didn't speak again. It just watched. Inside the Echo Runner, Maya Lin reviewed the incoming signals. Still nothing from Earth. No backup. No warnings. Just them 4 humans stuck on a ghost planet, surrounded by aliens who thought they were heroes, or bait. At night, strange lights began appearing on the surface of ZERU-9. Faint blue dots, like stars under the ground. They pulsed slowly, moving across the desert, circling the beacon. The Zarn said nothing at first. When Maya asked, their answer was simple. They are looking. Who? She asked. The Zarn leader only repeated, the ones who listen. The next morning, Elisa noticed something strange in the ship's logs. We're being scanned, she said. Not by the Zarn, by something else, multiple times. Hostile? Jonas asked. Hard to say. But they're not asking permission. Samir swore under his breath. They're watching us. Maya stared out the window. Not just watching, she said quietly. Studying. Jonas shook his head. I don't like being homework for space ghosts. The Zarn finally explained what the lights were. Scout drones. Silent machines from the Varnax. They didn't talk. They didn't warn. They just searched, then sent the data back to wherever the Varnax waited. The Varnax didn't fight wars like humans. They didn't send armies, they just decided. If a species was dangerous, useful, or a threat, they erased it. No warning. No mercy. No second chances. That night, one of the lights got close. Too close. Floated above the beacon for 10 full minutes, watching. The drone looked like a black glass orb with no engines, no lights, no noise. It simply hovered. Then it turned and looked straight at the Echo Runner. The crew watched in silence. It knows we're here, Samir whispered. Maya didn't blink. Let it look. In the morning, the beacon changed again. It started sending a new signal, faster, sharper. It used the Varnax language, a mix of pulses, tones, and flashes. None of the humans could understand it, but the Zarn could, and their faces turned pale. What is it? Maya asked. The leader of the Zarn lowered his voice. It is not a reply. Then what? A test, he said. The Varnax are deciding. Deciding what? Jonas asked. If Earth should continue to exist. Panic crept into the ship. We should leave, Jonas said. Now, before they decide. Elisa frowned. We can't outrun them. If they come, it won't matter where we are. Samir slammed a wrench down. All of this because we fixed a stupid broken machine? Maya didn't speak. She just stared at the screen. The Varnax hadn't attacked. Not yet, because they were watching. The next day, something new appeared. Another ship entered the system. Not Zarn, not Varnax. This one was small, silver, and fast. It moved like a whisper. One moment it was distant. The next it was right beside. The Echo Runner. A voice spoke directly into the ship's systems. You are the fixers. We come with a warning. Maya leaned forward. Who are you? The reply was strange. We are the ones who fixed. Before, the new ship carried a small crew, 2 beings with glowing eyes, wearing suits of black and white metal. They called themselves the Survived. They had once been like humans, curious, clever, and fast to act. They too had fixed the beacon. Long ago. Their world no longer existed. They don't attack right away, said one of the Survived. They test you first, watch your choices, judge your nature. Samir asked, what are they looking for? The second one replied, fear, pride, violence. Jonas whispered. So if we try to fight, they end you, the alien said. Without sound, without war, just silence. Maya asked the most important question. Can they be stopped? The 2 visitors looked at each other. Then, slowly, one nodded. Double quotes, yes, but not with weapons, only with design. Maya frowned. Design? You fixed a broken message, the first explained. Now, you must send a new one. Maya stood in front of the alien console, staring at the galaxy map. Red dots blinked everywhere. Each red dot meant a planet that had gone dark. No life, no signal. Nothing left. The Survived showed them the truth, what the Varnax had done to others who fixed the beacon before. 10 planets. 10 lost empires. One mistake, They answered the signal. The Varnaks don't want help, one of the survivors said. They want to see who dares to help. That's their test. Jonas frowned. So we're rats in a maze. No, said the other. You are the new piece on their board. Maya turned. Then what are we supposed to do? Sit here and wait. To be destroyed? The alien looked straight at her. No, you send a message back. The Zarn watched from a distance. Their leaders didn't trust the survived. Too quiet. Too calm. Too mysterious. But Maya listened. She gathered her team around the beacon. Eliza read the alien tech. Samir modified the transmitters. Jonas kept the ship ready in case they had to run. Maya had one goal: create a new message, not just a reply, but a challenge. While they worked, the lights on 0 and 9 changed again. Blue turned purple. Then red. More drones are coming, Eliza warned. Samir asked, how many? She didn't answer, because there were too many to count. Tiny black spheres filled the sky above them. Floating, scanning, recording. The Varnaks were watching closer than ever. That night, the beacon pulsed one final warning. A deep tone echoed from it, so strong it shook the ship. Then came a new sound, a voice, not mechanical, not broken. Cold, calm, ancient. It spoke only once. Judgment begins. Inside the Echo Runner, alarms blared. Something's entering orbit. Jonas shouted. Maya ran to the screen. A ship was descending. No, not a ship. A city-sized structure. Black metal, moving like a shadow. Covering the stars. The Varnaks, Eliza said softly. They're here. The Zarn panicked. Some ran. Some dropped to their knees. Some froze. The survived didn't move. They watched the sky with tired eyes. This is how it always begins, one said. They test your fear first. Maya didn't flinch. She walked back to the beacon. She placed her hand on the control panel. Let them watch. Then she spoke into the beacon's new signal, in her own voice. We're not afraid. The signal shot into space. Strong, clear, human. And different from all the others. This wasn't a cry for help. It wasn't silence. It was a choice. On the Varnak ship, the drones paused. One by one, they stopped moving. Then they listened. Back. On 0 and 9, Maya looked up. A moment of silence passed. Then, the red lights across the beacon's surface began to fade. Slowly. One by one. Eliza checked the data. They're not attacking. Why? Jonas asked. Maya answered softly. Because we're not acting like prey. The silence after the beacon's message felt strange. The Varnaks didn't attack. They didn't destroy 0 and 9. They just waited. But the waiting was worse than fighting. Maya's team gathered inside the Echo Runner. The red glow from the beacon dimmed but didn't disappear. Something was coming. Why aren't they attacking? Jonas asked nervously. They're listening, Eliza said, watching how we react. Samir shook his head. They want us to make a mistake. Maya looked out the window. Or say something loud enough to find. Suddenly, the ship's sensors picked up movement. Small ships appeared in the distance. Fast, silent, and precise. These are not Varnaks. Warships, Eliza said. They're scouts. They're studying us, Maya said, trying to understand what we are. The scouts came closer. Maya's heart raced. She knew Earth was small, weak, and unprepared, but humans had something else, a stubbornness, a refusal to back down. Eliza worked quickly to upgrade the beacon. She added new codes, hidden messages, warnings wrapped in puzzles. Samir built makeshift defenses on the Echo Runner. Jonas practiced evasive maneuvers. They were ready, but they hoped they wouldn't need to fight. That night, the scouts sent a message, cold and simple. Show your strength or be erased. Maya's hands shook as she replied, we don't fight like you. The silence that followed was heavy. Days passed without attack, but tension grew. The Varnaks were close. Waiting, judging, listening for that one loud human mistake. Maya sat alone by the beacon. Staring at the stars. She whispered, "We spoke too loudly." But deep inside, she knew humans never whispered. They roared. The scouts kept circling. Silent, watching, waiting. Maya knew one thing: humans don't run from problems. "We fixed them." Inside the Echo Runner, Eliza and Samir worked nonstop. Alien. Tech was strange, but repair was repair. "If they want to fight," Samir said, "we'll give them a fix they'll never forget." Eliza smiled. "Let's turn their weapons into ours." They studied the Varnak's drones, hacking their signals, learning their moves. Samir connected human-made circuits to the alien systems. Eliza rewrote codes to confuse enemy sensors. Jonas tested new maneuvers with the ship, ready for battle. Maya planned a strike, not with guns, but with smarts. The Varnak ship appeared again. Huge, dark and deadly. The drones moved fast, swarming like angry bees. But suddenly, many of them froze. Their systems were jammed, confused by human repairs. "Looks like we're not just fixing things," Maya said. "We're breaking their things." A drone tried to attack the beacon. Samir quickly rerouted power, sending a pulse that shut the drone down instantly. Jonas laughed. "We're fighting their tech with their tech," Eliza added, and with a little human twist. The Varnaks didn't expect it. They thought humans were weak, but humans had one weapon they never counted on: creativity. That night, Maya sent a new signal through the beacon. A message not just in code, but in spirit. "We are here. We fix what is broken. We do not run." The stars seemed to listen. The drones paused. The Varnak ship moved back. For the first time, Maya smiled. The war wasn't over, but humans had shown they would not just hide. They would fight with wrenches, wires, and will. The battle wasn't a battle. It was a dance of signals, machines, and minds. The Varnak sent wave after wave of drone silent killers, designed to destroy. But humans had learned their language. Maya and her team hacked into the drone systems with every signal. They rewrote their commands. Jonas piloted the Echo Runner through tight spaces, dodging attacks. Eliza and Samir sent pulses that turned enemies into allies. One by one, the drones stopped attacking. Some even turned against their own ship, the Varnak's command ship faltered. Its systems scrambled by human code. "It's working," Maya said, eyes bright. "We're not just fighting," Eliza added. "We're finishing what the beacon started." The beacon pulsed brighter than ever. A new message blasted through space. "We are the fixers. We don't run. We don't hide. We finish." The galaxy listened. The Varnaks retreated, not with shame, but with caution. Maya looked at her team. "We didn't come here to fight. We came here to finish the job." The stars outside were quiet now, but Earth had sent its voice loud and clear. The Varnak ship vanished into deep space. No explosion. No message. No goodbye. Just gone. On the surface of Zerun 9, the beacon stood tall and silent once more. This time, not broken, not screaming. Just quiet. The Zarn returned, slowly, carefully. They looked at the humans not with fear, but with respect. "You changed the pattern," one of them said to Maya. "You made them stop." Eliza placed her hand on the beacon. "We didn't win with weapons," Samir smiled. "We won with wires and guts," Jonas laughed. "And a little duct tape." Maya looked up at the stars. She thought about what they'd done. Not just fixed a signal, not just survived. They had sent a message to the galaxy. A message only humans could send. "We don't care who you are. If something's broken, we're going to fix it, even if it's the whole galaxy." A few days later, a dozen more ships arrived. Some were Zarn, some were unknown. All were curious, all wanted to meet the fixers. Maya and her crew returned to Earth as heroes. Not because they fought, but because they didn't stop when things got hard, because they repaired something others had given up on. And in doing so, They changed the balance of power in the universe. That day forward, whenever a broken signal echoed through space, whenever a machine glitched in the dark, aliens whispered one name: call the fixers. The end.